Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. So, in 2019, there was that we know of, that they allow us to know of. Somehow they allow us to know only this now. There was a Navy SEAL operation in North Korea. Unsuccessful, and during this operation, the Navy SEAL killed unarmed civilian fishermen. Why? Because they got caught. They were so good, the Navy SEALs, that they got caught by some fishermen. Hey, what is that? Those are the American... Okay, so that's exactly how it happened. So now it's damage control. That's what's occurring. But damage control goes to Trump. 2019, it was Trump. Trump met Kim Jong-un. Kim Jong-un is in charge of a nuclear power. So is the United States of America, or are the United States of America, right? We are a nuclear power. Now, don't you think that Trump must have known about this Navy SEAL operation in North Korea? I will tell you what the operation was about. I will tell you the legality, the justification in which, those civilians, you can do that when you're caught. In another country's land, violating their land, you're supposed to, because you got caught. Regardless who that is. If your mom catches you, you do it if you're caught in North Korea. Now, I would like to make a parallel between Trump says, I didn't know anything about it. Now, do you think Trump did not know anything about it? Well, I don't know if he knew, but don't you think that an operation like this in North Korea, this is not Zimbabwe or Romania or Albania, this is North Korea. Don't you think that this was a sensitive operation? Do you think that he did not have to say yes or no? I have huge doubts he did not know. But let's say he did not know. That's even worse if he knew. If Donald Trump did not know about it, that is worse than if he knew about it. I will explain. And I will explain by using the historical example of John Fitzgerald, is that what his name? Kennedy? You remember? Yeah, in the Bay of Pigs operation. He was not informed by CIA for the operation. No, they recruited some upset Cubans in Florida, and they landed in the Bay of Pigs in Cuba, and Fidel Castro fucked them all up. And then, when the Cuban says, hey, look what the Americans tried to invade us with CIA, John F. Kennedy was like, whoa. What about me? Why didn't I know? Remember, and he was very angry with the CIA. And in 1963, he just died. No, just Oswald just killed him. Conspiracy theorists right there. Okay? So that's a parallel. So if Trump did not know, should he be angry with the Pentagon, with the Navy SEALs or not? Remember, North Korea, we are not at war with North Korea, are we? I think South Korea is at war with North Korea, but not America. So you go in a different country with your military, special operations, Navy SEALs, to go and plan some things in the communication system of Kim Jong-un. Some people catch you because you're a baboon. Diversity is our strength, probably. You get caught by fishermen, man. Not by the North Korean military. It's unbelievable. You get like the janitor catches you. And what do? They killed them, the civilians. And then they say, well, the rules of engagement. What engagement? Like engagement, like the marriage or something? Jesus Christ, superstar. Well, let's discuss it. Let's start with the first one. We're going to start with the Russians. And then we're going to go to CNN because New York Times reported. Why do you think only now? Why do you think only now they make this happening? I tell you why. I think because Donald Trump said he would like to meet Kim Jong-un. Therefore, they're the interest that don't want Donald Trump to meet Kim Jong-un. Why? Because Kim Jong-un, I will show you, is brother right now with Xi Jinping. And I will show you why the world unites against these guys of bully boys. Let me show you. United States Navy SEALs conducted illegal operation in North Korea, New York Times. They just leaked it now? What is the coincidence? No, there's some interests who want to destroy the possible. They tried with Putin. Now they try with North Korea. They will try with Xi Jinping. There are some interests that do not want the United States of America to have a good relationship with these countries. Simply, that's it. Because in that circumstance, they have to negotiate the interests, have to negotiate with those countries. They don't want to negotiate. They want to take over. Mocha, zero, plunder. That's the whole point. So you kind of know who those interests might be. With just New York Times just found out now. Really, in 2019, and how many more happened. But they're sitting on them. The media or the guys leaking them are sitting on them. Who are these guys? Should be a coordinated thing. When this kind of leaked, we just find out now. Remember when George Bush, the imbecile, the second one, ran for the second time? He was not supposed to be in the first one, but never, not Gore either. Anyway, these are baboons. And we found out only in the campaign of the second run, when George W. Bush ran the second time, we found out that he was discharged from the Texas National Guard Air Force like, hush, hush, you're a baboon drunk. Only at the second one. Why? The first one, they did not know? I mean, what kind of professionals are those guys to dig dirt into this imbecile? They held it. And many times they just bring up news in front of you. I'm not giving you why. It's good that they brought it. But the timing is that means these guys are organized. And they don't work for us. I want the United States of America to have fantastic relationship with all the countries on this planet, including Iran, under the current regime or leadership, with North Korea, with China, as we are, like families. We have our family here, we have our way of dealing with the family, they have theirs, the neighbors. And it doesn't mean that we cannot do business and be in good relationship. I don't care if she smacks him. I don't care if he pokes her in their family. That's their family. I do business with the country, not with Gina, you hurt Tommy. I don't give a shit about it. Because they should not give a fuck about how I run my family. Or should they? Alright, so let's go with this one. The secret mission, reportedly approved by Trump in 2019, resulted in civilian deaths. The Navy SEALs Elite Special Operation Unit, SEAL Team 6, carried out a covert mission inside North Korea. That's a violation. That's an attack. That violated international law and left civilian dead. The New York Times reported. So they want a scandal between where is it? Not that? Okay, we're gonna find this one. Between this guy right here and Trump, my friends. And Trump is like, oh, I didn't know shit. Okay, let's go back. 2019 operation, reportedly authorized by President Donald Trump during his first term, sent commandos to plant a surveillance device. You know, they all do it, not only the Americans. So don't get me wrong. If they can, device designed to intercept the communication of North Korean leader Kim Jong-un. The intelligence was intended to strengthen U.S. leverage during nuclear negotiations between Kim and Trump. Officials briefed on the mission told the outlet, only now, the SEAL Team 6, the unit best known for killing Osama bin Laden. Killing Osama bin Laden. Launched from submarines, so submarines, big submarines, and used mini submersibles to approach North Korean coast. But in the dark of the night, because that's how fishermen fish in the dark, the team failed to notice several men in nearby boat. Believing them to be hostile forces, the SEALs opened fire, killing 2 or 3 unarmed fishermen. Because probably those guys were, how do you call those guys that are hunting illegally? Poachers. I don't know how you call them here in the fishing thing, but probably they're also poachers in the middle of the night. Anyway, maybe they fish night for some fish with lights or something. Then they reportedly retrieved the bodies, punctured the lungs so they would sink, and abandoned the mission before reaching the target site. What is this? What is this? Well, under the reality, there's nothing, okay. Now, under the reality, under the supposed reality, we should be all outraged. Right? Reality, if the North Korean, and don't give me, they would not do that. Okay, that's how should I put it? That is ABC 123 operational manual. They didn't do it because they were criminals. Those guys, I'm not defending the Navy SEALs. I'm just trying to explain to you, if you're not aware, these things are ABC 1, 2, 3. What those guys did is covering the whole garbage, what they were supposed to say. Oh, we're gonna go to Kim Jong-un. Sorry, we did it, now hang us. Is that what you think it would be? Under the so-called rules-based world order and international law? Yeah, kind of. Oh, we got fucked up. Here it is. My bad. Now, in the front of the court of law, martial law, bam, bam, bam. But no, that's not what it is. You are my enemy. Therefore, I have to win. Regardless. Remember when I tell you about the Russians' war crimes in Ukraine? Remember that one? And I said all armies commit war crimes. Why? Because they're human beings. We don't hear about it. They all can point fingers at each and every one. Each. My bad. Only the Israel Defense Forces are never committed anything. If they had to do something that was borderline, it's because they were pushed. Okay? They were in self-defense. All right, now garbage out. Let's move on. Breakdown in communication and surveillance. Okay, let's go here. The mission was never disclosed to Congress. I don't think that should have been under the reality. Raising concerns about the lack of oversight and may have violated U.S. laws, according to New York Times. Blah, blah, blah. North Korea has never acknowledged the incident, and it remains unclear whether Pyongyang ever learned of it until now. That's the whole purpose. Now you know. As Dana White from UFC says, if you don't know, now you know. Yeah, if you don't know, now you know. Ooh, okay, very deep. It's funny as fuck. There you go. Washington now estimates North Korea has about 50 nuclear warheads and missiles capable of hitting the United States. So it's clear where these guys are pushing. Next one. Donald Trump. Trump says knows nothing about alleged failed top secret operation in North Korea in 2019. That's even worse. US, but why? He tries to absolve himself of some answering some questions. Oh, I didn't know. But that raises bigger questions. Why not? Now, if you say, oh, Emil, calm down, Emil. It's just an operation of hundreds of them. Yeah. I would say, yeah, Gigi, you're right. But North Korea has nuclear weapons. They were talking about the negotiations between the Trump and Kim, and they were doing what? Did you know? Did you catch that? So they wanted more information between the negotiations between the politicals. So who are these? The military. Oh, no, we don't have a parallel state. No. It's conspiracy theory. So what was here? Let me show you again. All right. Let me just find it where it was so I don't keep you here. Right there. The intelligence was intended to strengthen U.S. leverage during nuclear negotiations between Kim and Trump. Okay, maybe just Kim Jong-un with others, or between the Americans and the North Koreans. I don't know. Let's go back to the article. Just raise a question. U.S. President Donald Trump said on Friday that he had heard nothing about an alleged failed U.S. troop secret operation in North Korea in early 2019. Why? Because he always wins. That's why. No, we always win, man. Do you mean failed? Remember Napoleon Bonaparte, who said, "Impossible, ce n'est pas français." The word impossible is not French. The same here. Failure is no American English word. Trump. Under my watch, under the Arab Moons, always it's failure. But when it's me, no, failure, ce n'est pas English. American. Okay? Because anyway, let's move on. I have the meow meow, just so you know, is behind my butt here. I can't move too much because if you hear any like sights, it's not anybody blowing me or anything. It's meow meow between me and this right here, meow meow being my beautiful black cat. All right, who likes to show his face, and now he's over there behind my butt and how do you call that? Where you arm and what's that? How do you call this, man? How do you call this shit? I don't know. Anyway, let's move on. All right. I don't know anything about it. I could look. Of course you could, but would you? But I know nothing about it. I'm hearing it now for the first time. So you were in the dark, like a rainbow in the dark. You're not even that. Trump told reporters when asked whether the U.S. administration engaged with blah, blah, blah. So it's even worse. Yeah, it absolves you of being a failure and a baboon, but that opens up the next question. Remember JFK and the Bay of Pigs? They failed, and JFK was very, very upset with the CIA. So Trump right now should be very, very upset with the Pentagon, unless he says, well, I don't want to die, so I'm not going to say anything. Or, well, you know what? They had to do it. They had to do it. So if that happens, that's the rule of engagement in a war. What war? Let me show you CNN, right? All right. CNN. Remember, if you agree with this, that means you agree with the other side doing the same thing to us. Unless, which they're pretty sure they will do it. It's ABC 1, 2, 3 operational manual, okay? So this is, but they can't do it because we're good. We do it in the name of good. What if the government decides that you are bad, and in the name of good and a common good, they have to, take you to the Guantanamo Bay to talk to you for the next 20 years? What would you say? Well, you're a national security threat, maybe. Who decreed that? The government. They said. If they said so, it must be true. And then everything is going to be legal. It's going to be signed, stamped, agreed by the media, and stamped and signed by how many judges you want? Do you want 50 judges to sign that? There will be 50 judges. I guarantee you that. This is the world we live in, my friends. Okay, New York Times. Unsuccessful 2019 Navy SEALs missions left unarmed North Korean dead. All right. So this is in June 30th, 2019, this one of them. So 2000, what I want to do is go and show you how these guys are bringing it under the rules of engagement, okay? Up, I don't know anything, I don't know anything, I hear it for the first time. They say the same thing, more along the shore before swimming to targets to install the electronic device. So, according to the Times, SEALs, this time, SEAL 6 Red Squadron, are these Russians? Rehearsed for months for a plan that would require the Navy to slip a nuclear-powered submarine into North Korean waters, not international, alongside 2 mini subs of SEALs who would motor along the shore before swimming to the target to install the electronic device. Very courageous, good. The SEAL secretive U.S. military unit forming power of Osama bin Laden, blah, 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 reported the North Korean boat, which evidence later suggested were 2 or 3 North Korean civilian diving for shellfish, approached in the water during the operation. The SEALs opened fire and killed them. The report also states that the Trump administration did not notify, the relationship, his warning came. All right, let me see. Kim, do not go to challenge. Somewhere here was where they said it was under the rules of engagement or something. Let me check it out. No, they took it out and they did something else. The story has been updated with additional information and they took some out. I looked over there. I looked at even these guys taking it from the New York Times and again from CNN is the same thing at the bottom. The story has been updated. When I took it, I don't want to say swear God, but that's the way it is. The same. If you look at this one, where is it? The original one that is 3 minutes, right? 19 hours ago. I picked mine earlier. So again, if you go at the bottom, again, the story has been updated for additional information. Why? Because I didn't know. When I read this about 2 hours ago, or 3 hours ago, something like this, when I read this, it was nothing about Trump denying it. It was nothing about the shellfish, divers, swimming. It was only the boat. And now I can see it's more information because when I started this video, I didn't have the information. I didn't know that in that particular article, I skimmed through it, it was nothing about Trump denying. That's why I picked Sputnik in order to show you that Trump denied. That's why I didn't use this article, the original one, because now it shows over there that Trump said, I don't know nothing, I have nothing to do. That's why I picked this article right here. Because that's where Trump said, no, I don't know nothing. They updated, but nevertheless, I think they took something out. And that is because they said under the rule, the engagement, it's okay. And I said, what the fuck is that means? the rule of engagement. I drop in your territory, you catch me with civilians, I kill them, I puncture them, I butcher them, and then that's okay. If you think that's okay, imagine the Chinese doing this to us. And if that's okay, it's okay, I guess. All right, sorry, it is what it is. I can't find that anymore. I tried like, I don't know, a little bit. And this is the conclusion. Xi and Kim pledge deeper ties a day after unprecedented show of unity with Putin at Chinese military parade. This is the consequence of our bad policies. Not our. We don't include. I keep making the mistake, and please don't make this mistake. In the international arena, it's not us. It's they, them. All right? Whatever they identify as. It's not us. They supposedly work for us. We employ them by voting for them, which is actually certifying their choice, which is these two baboons were selected, put in front of you to certify. And if you don't certify them, then the voting machines will certify them for you. So don't make these mistakes. We did this. We attacked that. We did. It's not we. It's they. Right? They use we when they try to include us in something like garbage. Oh, we screwed up, but it's we, all of us. I didn't screw up. You know exactly who screwed up. I want that person, that exact person who screwed up. We can find it out. Like in the office. When you go in the office, if you screw up something, they might come and say, hey, you. Here it is. But if someone else screwed up something, you're going to receive a memo. Hey guys, a gentle reminder. Please be mindful. Don't do this in the office. We all notice some behavior of this kind. No, we know exactly who that person was. Was Deshaun. Deshaun was the one who did it. Why don't you call Deshaun and tell Deshaun not to do it again? Don't make the rule for all of us because of Deshaun, Michael, or Wilfred, or whatever. The same here. We. It's not we. Please start with this each and every time they say the United States of America. No, it's not the. It's those guys in your name, but they don't work for you. They say they are, and they say, well, we're going to plunder other countries to get cheap oil so you can have a better life. Like what? For free? It's going to be 5 cents a gallon? No, it's going to be Chevron, it's going to be other companies, Amoco and others. They're going to make big profits, and you get what? 5-cent discount for about 3 days, and then you go boop, up. I mean, these guys are playing with us. Why? They have the right to do it. Remember that guy, the bad guy that we all supposed to hate because he's the evil guy in the world that only the Western civilization had. Not the Chinese, not the Jews. No. Just we had it. Remember when he said, well, lucky for the politicians that the masses are stupid, are dumb. And that's true. These guys are using that. Why? It's an ABC one. It's a truism. It's not something that he just realized and he just, okay, many others realized that, but they didn't say it probably out loud. And they use it just to paint that guy as more evil than he is. Yes, he was, okay? YouTube, he was the most evil guy in the world. Got it? All right. Whew, we got that settled. All right, so I think I scored some brown points over here, brown nose points or whatever they're called. Nevertheless, do you think that it's like I tell you, if you just jump off your window, you're gonna definitely go down and not up. Oh, Emil said it. Emil is a criminal. Emil. The same here. He just said it's something and they use it as if it's a bad thing. But that's the reality. He just pointed out the reality. So for me at least, that's a good thing. Regardless who the person is, a criminal or whatever it is, if he says something that I can learn from, I don't care who says it, if I can learn. All right, let's move on. Next one. And here is the conclusion. Sputnik. Kim at meeting with Xi says North Korean-Chinese friendship unbreakable. There you go. Now, the same thing Kim Jong-un said about Russia and Putin. What's going on here? Now, what can U.S. do? U.S., remember, we. Well, the interest will not stop because that means they're going to lose money and power. Therefore, they're going to try further. Why? They're not hurt by sending the military, by sending the Special Operation Unit 6 or Osama bin Laden. They don't. It's not their kids. It's your kids. And they will do it as much as possible. The moment they are hurt, they would immediately make a deal with Xi Jinping, Putin, the Iranians, Kim Jong-un, with Maduro. The second the international banking financial system is hurt, a little bit. They're bitches. They will say, but that's why when the Russians and the Chinese and the Indians and these guys build the BRICS Bank, and now they want to build another bank, Shanghai Cooperation Organization Bank, that's exactly where they're going to hit these guys. And if they're going to hurt them, they're going to tell the Americans, fight harder. When they can't win, which they can so far, they cannot. They're going to say, okay, now we're screwed. Let's maybe talk to the guys. That's what's going to happen. Not hurting Trump or hurting the Pentagon. These are secondary, tertiary assets. The assets are the guys behind, which is, as I said, in financial system, international financial system, military-industrial complex, and then the third one is the energy industry. Oil, gas, and coal, and clean energy. Do you think the clean energies are clean? They're not clean at all. You're going to find out. You're going to find out. You're going to say, what do you mean? I mean, do you think the sun is going to be shining stronger in Siberia? We need Siberia. Or the wind blows harder? Yeah, you'll see. It's just a gimmick. It's just a gimmick. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.